Hello everybody, welcome to the Women's Day special chat session at Samudrika's Designer Studio. Today is a very special chat session because we have a very special eminent personality with us. I would call her Karnataka's pride. This bureaucrat has been the first lady IPS officer of Karnataka. She's also been the first woman to hold the position of Home Secretary of the state. Well, I sometimes don't know if I have to be in awe of her power-packed personality or in awe of her beauty. But I decide to be in awe of both. So this powerful woman is currently the Managing Director of the State Crafts Corporation. She has been a daredevil officer, taken on many powerful personalities without any fear. She's been a whistleblower whenever it calls for an unlawful situation. She's a dedicated, honest officer. She is a force to reckon with. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the most inspiring, the very beautiful Mrs. Rupam. Welcome to the show, and we are so honored to have you here with us. Happy Women's Day to you.
Thank you, and wish you the same.
So, to start on with the interview, why don't we know about your journey, probably in brief. What brought you to this stature in life? Did you choose to be in the police career right from the beginning, or who inspired you? What inspired you?
I've already told this several times. When I was in third standard, that was the time when my father told me that I have to be an IPS officer, and he told me what does an IPS officer do? The IPS officer will head the district as SP. That's what he told me. So at that age, tender age, whatever I could understand a bit, I just understood. And then I joined NCC, and I passed ABC certificates. I represented state in Republic Day camp, which is a very prestigious camp. So during that time, the love for khaki translated into IPS.
Oh.
The NCC uniform is also the same, the khaki uniform.
Okay.
So that made me choose IPS. So I got 43rd rank All India,
Amazing.
and luckily I got Karnataka, which is my home state.
Great. So as you know, I think every successful woman, while climbing the ladder of success, has to face a lot of challenges, has to face a lot of obstacles. There'll be a lot of interesting stories that we'll all have to share, and I'm sure you also have to share. And there's this one story about you which I heard, that when you were posted in Yadagiri, you had to stay in a village, and your daughter had to attend a government school, and you allowed her to sit on the floor and make her. So I really found this so amazing. Hats off to you for doing that. I don't think many people in your career would have done that. So what about the obstacles that you faced? Would you like to mention any?
Obstacles that women face in male-dominated fields are many. And police being male-dominated for long,
yes.
We face a lot of obstacles. Every time a woman is to get a posting, people who post her, again, they're all men.
Right.
So they think multiple times whether this woman will suit this post or not.
Right.
And let's say if the place is infected with rowdyism, they will think whether this woman can handle it. That is their thought. And even in a place where there's no rowdyism, let's say, but it's a very important place for various reasons, then a lot of vested interests will be involved. So when the vested interests are involved, again, they don't feel like interacting with a woman for getting their work done when they have so many vested interests. There again, they want a man. And a lot of whining, dining happens, and in such gatherings, important decisions take place for which women officers are kept out, or women don't attend whining, dining after office hours. So all these are obstacles only, because though we all enter as equals without any woman quota in the IPS, the equality of opportunities is not so much there in police department, because people still have the stereotype that police is a male bastion and only men can do very well, and women are always brought overprotected, and they are delicate compared to men, and they cannot handle. This stereotype still exists.
Right.
Yeah.
Really inspiring. So there's a lot which you've probably learnt in this journey, good, bad. Would you like to mention any key learnings that you had your journey this far?
Key learnings, I think the journey has brought out the best in me. Yeah. So I still don't get bogged down by the obstacles. And it makes me stronger actually. And when people say, is there any, they ask me several times, is there any point when you feel bogged down and you say, why did I do that? I say, no, I would like to repeat it again and again. The whistleblowing act, or taking on people, or speaking up. I never found it as, of course there'll be some obstacles, but one has to be brave enough to face them. And these are challenges, and I just take on them. So the learning, so because this has made me even stronger, and I was like this always, like speaking straightforward from my heart. I speak up my mind. That also resulted in the same action, like whistleblowing act, giving report on things as they exist, the unfairness in the system, the injustice, irregularities. All these are again giving reports on these or taking action is again an extension of the same personality as in, as a child I used to speak up. So it's the same extension, and it has been brought out more. The difficulties, the best in me comes out.
The stronger you
The
emerge.
stronger I emerge.
That's
yeah.
such a serious learning to all our youngsters today. In Women's Day, the most touched upon topic is women empowerment. So, ma'am, what according to you is women empowerment? Do you think there's still a large segment of women who need to be empowered in the country?
Yes. Women empowerment to me is basically enabling the woman to take her own decisions on various aspects of her own life. Because today we find that still in many parts of the country, a woman can't decide about her own life, what she wants to do or how she wants to live or dress or whatever aspects, or what school she wants to send her children to, and so on. So basically the men folk decide and the decisions are forced. So basic empowerment is where the woman is also taken, her views are also taken into consideration while arriving at family decisions. Secondly, I feel economic independence is the basis for all other equalities, like whether it is social equality or political equality. Because if you have your own do char paise, then you are empowered. You feel that you can do what you want with that money. Otherwise, you're all the time dependent on others, and then how can you be really independent? So economic independence is required, needed. So I feel that women, of course, everybody is endowed with one or the other talent or skill. So they should realize what is the best in them and make use of it. Because after all, idle mind is devil's workshop. So use the time to realize your hobby, maybe make it a profession, earn some money out of it, find satisfaction.
I think the concept of feminism and feminist activities are right in their own way, where they go all the way lashing out at men because they're not getting equality. Is that fair?
So feminism is a very touchy subject. It's a very controversial subject. Now, for each one, the meaning of feminism differs from one to another. So, see, I basically feel that there will be always differences between men and women because we are different.
Correct.
We are physically different. We are temperamentally different.
Correct.
Even science has proved that temperamentally also male and female species of human beings differ. So differences will always be there. But what needs to be done is equality of opportunities. That should be given. And equality of outcomes, it will never be equal as such because of the differences. In fact, women may do better. I'm not saying less, but it'll be different. And diversity is the spice of life. But then equality of opportunities should be there. That is my view of feminism.
Okay, good. Topic I think which bothers women is the safety of women. So I think from inception there have been a lot of violence on women, irrespective of how many protests the women take up against it, voice their opinions. Every other day we still get to read instances of probably abuse and domestic violence and stuff like that. So what's your take on women's safety?
Women's safety, yes, it's of course, police is there. It's the state's duty to create spaces making women feel protected and safer. But a cop can't be present every time at every place. We are ready for every 1 lakh population. We are having in India about 154 policemen, and they can't be there at every street, at every nook and corner of the city. So women have to take their own precautions, and but that apart, do not discourage your girl children from doing things that they wish to. Allow them to be adventurous. Allow them to grow bold and courageous. Don't overprotect them. And I have seen at times that in families when the girl child wanted to go and participate in a competition far away from home, for safety reasons they're not being allowed. So I think those things parents should allow children to be a little more adventurous with a pinch of salt. of course, we should teach them responsibility also along with their rights and freedom, but allow them to be more older and grow up to be courageous people.
So there's one more very interesting thing about you, which I don't know if many of them know. So you have been Miss Davangere. When was this, ma'am? And how did it
I was
happen?
16 years old and I was very young. And this Miss Davangere didn't have any bikini round and all. So when there was an advertisement in local newspaper and I saw and I told my mom I'm going to participate, I'm going to apply.
Okay.
She was like perplexed. She asked me, why did this idea come to
Yeah.
you? So
Tell us why it came to you. It was just for fun?
No, I had read in the newspaper those days that I think by then Sushmita Sen had become Miss Universe and Madhu Sapre was there prior to her. So these ideas were just there. These people have gone, but of course I knew there won't be bikini round and all. And I am still conservative, I myself. And when my mother asked me why did you get this idea, I told her, well, this is not just about external beauty. These competitions are also about personality, like how you carry yourself, how you answer. So I think I can do well.
Okay.
So basically the idea means when I look back, when I gave that answer, when I look back at my answer now, I still feel that probably I felt that I was not externally very beautiful that way, but traditional beauty or whatever. But I'm smart enough to handle, answer questions, and I had that confidence that I could.
Talking about, maybe I should ask you, what is the secret to your fitness, your beauty?
I'm
How
not
do you-
fit so much, I feel.
But still,
I'm
you
not
know,
a very
I'm sure you-
regular exercise. I don't exercise regularly. I'm indisciplined that way.
You have professional stress to handle. You're also a wife, mother, so.
Oh, stress I handle. See, these criticism don't bog me down, and I thrive in chaos. There are people who don't like chaos and disorder, but I don't mind, being.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
beautiful
how
trait to have, thriving in chaos. I like this phrase. Let's talk about Samudrika's Designer Studio. So, please tell us about your association with Samudrika's and also the woman entrepreneur who's running Samudrika's, Mrs. Meenu Saravanan.
Yes, Meenu Saravanan came in my contact. I came in contact with her in 2017 after the Jade Expose thing. She's also from Tamil Nadu, so I think she heard more about me in Tamil Nadu. People say that I was talked about more in Tamil Nadu those days than here. So then she approached me and said that she is a designer, fashion designer, and that's how I got to know. And in whatever ways I could, I participated in her events. That is the maximum way I have helped her. And she's a very good designer, and she herself is a woman empowered. What her passion is, and she's made it into her profession. She's dedicated. She's economically independent. So she is a complete woman in herself, and her design is very unique. Designs are unique, and her color combination choice, the designs, they stand apart. And she has come a long way. Samudrika's, her brand design, has completed 4 years.
Right, so.
Big congratulations to her and to Samudrika's and to Meenu Saravanan.
Last question. There are a lot of youngsters and young girls who look up to you as inspiration. They want to be in your shoes and do what you've done and take you as a role model. So if you have to give them one secret mantra to be successful from your life's learning, what would that be?
See, many times we wouldn't have discovered what we are best at. So discover that as early as possible and give it a shot and focus on it. Don't get bogged down by what people say around you, that it's possible, not possible. Believe in yourself and focus on the thing, and sky is the limit. Even sky is not the limit.
I'm sure you heard what she has to say and you've taken a lot of learning from that. So here we end this beautiful chat show with this power-packed personality. And so again, wishing you all a happy Women's Day. Thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank
Rupa
you.
Morgan, for being with us and giving us your time.
Thanks to you, Shubha, for a very good interview, and thanks, Meenu, for this interview.